Hi and welcome back to my metal shaping YouTube channel here. Today I'm going to talk about something very important in everything that you're going to do with metal shaping. And if you don't follow this first step, and I have several more steps, if you don't follow those steps, you're going to struggle and you will not make it. It's not going to happen. And I have seen it over the years with people and with my student after the class, before the class. I have seen it so many years that people struggle with just those steps. And I have shown you a little bit about those steps, talked about that before in my videos, but now I'm going to make it more in depth so you can really take that on. So behind me here you can see what I call it the Bonneville style 33, 34, 3-window coupe. I never built one before, but I have thought about that. I wanted one day, and but I didn't know how to do it. In this case, you can keep so much from here and down. You can keep all that from a 3-window coupe, or you can make it from scratch from a 2-door sedan or a 4-door sedan. So in this case, I actually needed to come up with the design of the window frame first that I was happy with. Then I built the parts after that. And I could keep the front of the roof, lay down the windshield. So that's why you see this slot here. I cut that and laid it back. That's going to be welded in a piece. And then I made the opening as the original opening is on a 3-window coupe. That tells me that I have an edge there, I have an edge there, and then I could start making the templates after that. So I got close to what I want. But I have changed, especially the door window frames. I probably made 6, 7 of them before I got to a point where I saw that the car was sitting right. So that is this project. So the first step in this is actually design. Design is where it starts. And the reason for that is our mind thinking in pictures. And everything we think about, we see a picture of it. In your imagination, you see a picture of something. And that picture needs to be clear. It can't be blur. It can't be something that is kind of close. Oh, guess what? The piece that you're going to make is going to be close too, but it's not going to be right. And the car doesn't look right. And I have seen it so many times online, and people build cars and stuff like that. And two big wheels in the front, too small in the back. That doesn't have the right stance. Wheel opening is too big or too small, or I mean, it's so many things. But it all starts with that the picture wasn't clear what they wanted. So design, you can use an already existing panel that you're going to start with that you need to replace on a car. So you can use a rusty floor piece, but you can use the template and do the layout from that. That is your design, the old piece. Second one that you can use, you can build a wire buck, and you can do like a skeleton with wire. The good thing with that is that if it's a whole new design that you have never done before, but you need that 3-dimensional picture, you can do that with wire and you can see 3-dimension. And design is design, so you need to let it sit for several weeks before you actually approve the design. You can change it many times. With a wire buck, you can cut the pieces off in the section and bend new wire and replace it. And I have at least one video, maybe more video on YouTube about how to do the wire buck. You can also make use insulation foam that they're using for windsurfing board and shaping that. You can take a block of that from Home Depot, buy that from Home Depot, and then you can shape that to whatever shape you want. If it's a motorcycle tank, for example, you can do that shape there on the bike, and you can see what it looks like, and then you see, now that this is, I need more, carving out more there, or you need to add a little more there, and so on. But you can make your whole design. Once you have that in foam, then you can make it in sheet metal, you can make the paper layout, you can make the strips, you can do all that stuff there. And it's going to be a tank. You can also make like a wooden buck, which many people using. And I heard people spend years to make that wooden buck. And it's a pain. I want to get things done. So, but you can make like a wooden buck, same principle as you have on the inside of a wooden boat, that type, but you're building that for your shape. You don't need to make the whole, both sides of the buck. You can make half of that car or half of that airplane or whatever, and then you just flip the templates over to the other side when you make both sides. Never use the wooden buck and put the sheet metal over the wooden buck, because you can't see where it fits. We had a step 2 class when we built the Auburn Speedster, and one of the students brought in a wooden buck for an Auburn Speedster, and it was the most frustrated class that I ever had, because I like to put my templates on the outside of the new sheet metal and to see that. If you have a wooden buck, you can make the strips on the outside of the wooden buck. And that way you can use those templates on the outside of the new piece. Those are the things that you can make. You can make it in clay, but clay is not so... it's nice to do a 3D model, but I don't think many people using the clay. It is easier way, quicker way to do it. But design is number 1. If you have a clear picture, then it's going to be a clear, nice piece when you are done with it. But if it's blur, it's going to be a blur to the end. It's the same thing when you will building a house. If the foundation is crooked, and you know that the foundation needs to be good, but if the foundation is crooked, it's going to follow all the way to the top. And it's the same thing with car pieces or any pieces that you're going to shape in metal. If the pictures is blur, it's going to follow you all the way to the end, and you don't know what's going on and so on. So design is number 1. So step number 2, and I have talked about this before, but now I make them together in all those steps, so you can follow those steps through the process to make any panel that you want. As I told you before, this new membership, if you click the button below, there you're going to have more videos in depth. You can still follow the free videos, but it's going to be more in depth, more in details about my whole process, how I'm working. People want to know how I'm thinking, and that's what I'm going to show you step by step. Next step here, after design, is paper layout. And I have talked about that before. So the paper layout is, it shows you several things. When you do the paper layout, once you have the design, so here I have a 3D model of the design, old piece, new foam, wire buck or wooden buck, anything that you can see 3 dimension. You can, if you have access to 3D printer, you can probably 3D print that out too if you are that advanced, but I wasn't good in school, so I can do it with my hands and stuff like that, but it's not in the computer. I'm not able to do that, and that's okay. So the paper layout show you the size of the panel that you're going to cut out and what you're going to start with. And that is very important. So let's say that if I'm going to do this corner here, and it's going to be videos for the members how I make that piece. That piece there, I can't cut out a rectangular piece and start shaping that one. It's not working because it's going to be too much material somewhere and it's going to be too little material somewhere, and it's just not working. Sometimes I have been in a hurry and I want it done quick, and I don't need to do the paper layout, and then I'm struggling. And then I need to go back to the drawing board and start use the paper layout. And once I do that, then it's straightforward. So the paper layout show you the size that you cut out, but it also shows you where to shrink or stretch. Because the paper, when you try to fold over the paper and it's going to wrinkle, then it's too much material. And that tells you that, okay, I need to shrink in this metal, in this area, to be able to shape it to whatever I want. So let me put this piece, I already have done this paper layout. So I'm using those refrigerator magnets. They works really, really good. So there you can see that if I have this paper layout, if this was a straight paper, so no cuts, then if I try to bend that, it's going to buckle, it's going to wrinkle. That tells me that it's too much material. Here I can't push that in because here it's too short. And you can see how this one flares out. I'm going to zoom in here before I finish so you can see all this close up. On the top here you can see that when I start cutting here, you can see how I can overlap those pieces. That tells me that this area needs to be shrunk. When you cut that in, you cut all the way until the puckle is gone. If you cut 2 inches here and try to bend it, it's still going to be a puckle here. So you need to continue cut it. And it can be 1.5 inches, it can be 2 inches, it can be sometimes 3 inches. It depends on how aggressive the shrinking will be, and it depends on the shape of the panel, how close you can cut that. It doesn't mean that I'm shrinking just there and then 1.5 inch shrinking again. No, the whole thing needs to be shrunk. And the biggest shrinking is in the corner and less fading into this part here. In the past, in the step 2 classes, we have shrunk it too much in here, and then we need to go back and stretch it because we couldn't get to the right shape. Here, this is also shrunk there. The bottom, as I said, that flange, we're going to bend that, and then the bead going to be up here. That means that this is going to be stretched, and you can see the gap there. So let me zoom in so you can see what that looks like with a close-up. I'm going to go over to the car now so you can see what I'm talking about. Here you can see that the paper overlapping each other, and that tells me how that needs to be shrunk. And you can go probably, in this case, probably 4 inches in, but it will be more on the edge and less in. Here you can see this flange, and you can see that it's actually open up here to be able to get that flange and get that round kind of bead there. and it's fading in here, so this one is flat on the side and the bead continues here. So that means that it will be less stretching down here, and it will fade into that part there. So that's what I had for today. If you want to see the other 4 steps, you can click the button below here, the membership, and there you can find those other 4 videos. If you follow those steps, that will take you so you can make any panel you want. Some panels are very complicated and it will not be easy to make, but it can be done that way. If it is a panel that you can't, that is too complicated to do in one piece, don't be afraid to make it in several pieces. Shape each piece, maybe 2-3 pieces, maybe more, but 2-3 pieces. You can tack weld them on together on the car, and you can put sheet metal screws in the front if you want. You can put sheet metal screws in the back. But when you weld it together, you take it to a bench and you're welding it together there, grinding it, hammer and dolly it, and then when you put it back on the car, you have only those welds to do instead of the other 3-4, whatever that is, welds. So because some of them can be very difficult to reach in. For example, under here I have some inner structure there, so it can be really difficult to reach in there. So if I have a weld there, then I can do that on the bench, and when I put it on a car, it will be just a little small weld here. So that is another tips and tricks that you can apply in the process when you make it. If you want more information about my hands-on classes, video, DVDs, books, you can go to www.lazzemetalshaping.com. And as I said, if you want to follow the rest of the steps here, they will be available for members. So click the button below here, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.